George, you've spent a few weeks now with our new CS5302.
Have indeed.
Is there anything you can tell us about that experience?
It not only compared well, it compared spectacularly well against this extremely expensive A to D that has been kind of the centerpiece of my production for 15 years at 1,000th the price. I mean, this is deeply impressive. This is heart-stopping performance.
Hello, and welcome to Blackbird Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm Andy Howlett, Pro Audio Design Manager with Cirrus Logic, and today it's my great pleasure to be speaking with George Massenburg. He is a Grammy-winning record producer, an advanced degree professor, a studio architect, an electronics engineer, and owner of George Massenburg Labs.
Right off, I'd have to say it's my great pleasure to be here with you, Andy. It's meaningful to me to speak to the smartest people in the business. And Cirrus are the smartest people in the business.
Let's go back to the parametric EQ, first of all. I mean, you published an AES paper on parametric EQ in 1972, and one of your key products that's still in production, I believe, is a parametric EQ. So tell us about the genus of that and how it evolved.
I was trying to improve on a console in this recording studio that I joined as a college dropout in around 1967, 1968. It was a brilliant tube design, and I didn't realize how good I had it. But I was trying to replace that with early chips. The chips of that day were Fairchild, 702s, 709s, and they were all we had to work with. And to make a console out of these parts took some imagination. So very quickly, we were designing with discrete parts and learning how to design out of the back of the National Semiconductor parts book, which had a bunch of circuits, and that was my education in electronics, was the National Semiconductor data book. And the other resource was, when it came along, Walter Zhang's IC op-amp cookbook. I had started to work on this idea of the parametric, and I was in trouble with what were called state variable filters. It was noisy, and so I had an alternate circuitry, and I showed it to Walt Jung of the IC op-amp, who was a draftsman at Aircraft Armaments just down the street. He looked at what I was trying to say, no, that can't be done. That's always inspired me. You're crazy, that can't be done. And then when we took the very first parametric to New York, and I showed it to a couple of pros, it was pretty clear that designing it was one thing and selling it quite another. And that's been my experience ever since. That realizing it is a bit of work, but selling it is quite another story.
What do you think it is about that design? I mean, is it just the way it looks, or is it its familiarity?
Familiarity and consistency. It's when you turn a certain thing, maybe it's only a high-end shelf, but it's what they expect to hear. And that's still the case. It's an expected result.
To know you get the sound that you
want.
And
to have that confidence that if it doesn't sound right, it's not the studio, it's not the mic, it's the artist. Here, come here, I want to play you something. Here's what you should sound like. So there's that. It's an expected result.
Let's talk about the ethos of design that you have. So you have these two sides, I guess, to your career, the recording producer side and the engineer side. Do the two overlap?
Do
they influence each other?
The best designers I know take their designs into the studio to test them. And the stories are there where I would sit on top of a console and make adjustments on trim pots and get to know what the possibilities were in really transparent gain control. So the design ethos, so to speak, is finding problems and not ignoring them. Finding things that we hear and explaining them, putting the name to them, finding the problems and fixing them.
And I think that, that finding the problems, understanding the problems is really, what motivates us as well. I mean, at the end of the day, Cirrus's goal is to find our customers' problems and delight them with a solution that they hadn't thought of. I presume that's the same in the studio as in the engineering world.
Well, there's only so far you can take that in the studio, because music is, maybe it's perfectible. Bach made it perfectible, but it was never perfection. And we can never reach perfection. That's undefinable, unattainable. But in the studio, it's more about telling a story. And that's where we have to shift gears and leave that bag of tricks outside. So along those lines, what's important in the studio primarily is something very boring. It's reliability. Very often it's that first take. It's that first performance that's important. That first performance is where you get the story right, because you're living the story while you're singing it. And you're not trying to sing. You're not trying to read lyrics. You're telling a story. But at the same time, it's important that all the technical end of the business just work, to be transparent to the story, to the artist's story.
I mean, that's really good to hear you say that, to be honest, George, because, one of the things with the new converters that we have been working on is to try and bring that level of transparency. Our goal really is to be as transparent as a piece of wire.
Transparency is the key.
I mean, how much can we talk about what you've been doing, the product that you're thinking about?
Everybody knows what we do. They'll steal it one way or the other.
Well, you've had a couple of weeks with our new converters, our new CS5302.
Have indeed.
Is there anything that, we could take away or learn from your time with them?
Well, we like it a lot. And we find that it fits cleverly and easily into where we're going with our design goal for a product. But what we hear is that the core of the product sounds the way we would expect it to sound. We're ready to throw it into a product with as much listening as we've done, and feel that it'll be adaptable to all the things that we're involved in, including multi-channel production, where you want to have great resolution and localization that comes from higher sample rates. But it's everything that we had hoped for design. We just wish it had been along 20 years ago. But you didn't have the processes then, did you?
It's been a really joyful journey, actually, to be able to take some of the things that were forced compromises in previous products and actually, go and take them to the level that we would like them to be at. So it's really great to hear that that's what you hear too.
For me, for my engineer, Justin Barish, and myself, we had a great time with the development environment, which was just terrific. Tools that we didn't have to reinvent. Everything worked. That's really great. Thank you. It not only compared well, it compared spectacularly well against this extremely expensive A to D that has been kind of the centerpiece of my production for 15 years. At 1,000th the price? I mean, this is deeply impressive. This is heart-stopping performance.
George, you've done so many things over your career, but yet you still here working hard in the industry. What keeps your motivation? Why are you still doing it?
What keeps me going is my dreams are still coming true, is the idea that you've given me tools here to make a product that I've been dreaming about for years. That gets me going in the morning. I get up at 4 a.m. every morning just to do that.
Maybe that's the answer, 4 o'clock every morning.
4 o'clock every morning.
Certainly solving problems, I think, is what engineers just live for. And especially if it's a problem that matters to somebody, then there's no better feeling.
If your solution is somebody else's solution, it's great. And see somebody else light up.
And I think that, that human connection aspect of engineering is often overlooked, but it's, at least I think, really important. What advice would you give somebody who's at the beginning of their career and wants to get into analog design or mixed signal design?
It's learning how people perceive quality. And what is quality but getting something that you expected to get, but more. It's what you expected and more.
So I think I'd describe that as how to surprise and delight people.
Meet their expectations and give them more. And it's all about making one's life more colorful and better.
I think that's great advice.